Hi, this is Dr. Mount. This is a more serious video than the last, although the cure for breast cancer is pretty serious. Russia has ordered their troops to be pulled out of Syria immediately. There is no let's wait 2 weeks, let's negotiate with ISIS. It's get out now. Russia is preparing for nuclear war. Everything's deployed. We've never said this before. What is the philosophy of Russia? In World War II, Russia had a philosophy of pull back and then attack. Burn everything. Pull back and then hit them hard when they least expect it. That won the war for them. In fact, they pulled back all the way to Moscow and in the freezing cold of December attacked the German troops. That's what they did to Napoleon. That's always been their philosophy. So when Russia withdraws, it's something serious. So what's led to this? General Dunford announced to the Chinese that there will be no new republic and the treasury notes will not be revalued. He announced that 2 Saturdays ago. Whatever's up there flying around is angry beyond all reality. The United States fired a missile that killed most of the Russian general staff. That doesn't mean that the people who replaced them aren't even more competent. It just means it was a signal to Russia. We're going to kill you. We're going to assassinate your general staff. We're going to use the U.S. NGOs to kill your staff. We're going to use the U.S. Red Cross to kill your staff. We have hitmen all over Russia, and we're going to start killing. A member of Putin's staff was shot yesterday, 36 hours ago. It was in all the papers. Russian defense budget is tied totally to the cost of oil. Iran announced it's going to sell oil for $1 a barrel. Historically, oil has sold for $15 a barrel. If it's at 110, that's all speculation. That's not what it's selling for. It's been selling constantly for $15 to $20 a barrel. Now Iran and the oil in North Dakota that stuff was going for minus 50 cents a barrel. It's going for $1.50 a barrel. It is sweet crude. It's not full of sulfur like they lied. Turkey, we're going to look at the situational map. If you want to look down here, Jane. This is Syria. This is Jordan. 350,000 troops are here. Iraq is in ruins thanks to the United States. 1 million Turkish troops are moved here, and they're moving here. They're planning to move up in here to block the oil pipeline from supplying Europe with oil because Erdogan works for Lucifer. It's the green horse of the apocalypse. The Muslims they want to kill and destroy, which means freeze Europe because the white people are the evil Adama. These people are moving in all directions to kill, murder, and destroy. That's what Muslims do. Russia is withdrawing from Syria, here, and here, in preparation for the attack. All they have to do is block five passes with triple nickel 40s. But Russia's not going to do that. They're going to let Turkey invade, and they're going to smash them and destroy them. And at the same time, we all know that George Washington, and there was a Mormon philosopher. He was 1844, and he was born in 1824. He was 1844, 20 years old. They call them elders when they're 17. Go figure. He announced that he saw the same thing Washington announced. That cities would sprout up from coast to coast, and then they would all burn. And then the Chinese and Russians would invade, and then the country will wobble to and fro, and the Chinese Empire and the Russian Empire will dissolve. Obama has ordered the death of the Russian soldiers, and they're killing Russian staff one at a time. Russia does not have the intestinal fortitude to start killing Obama's staff. They're not there. The Chinese, they're not there. They're not as bloodthirsty as the Obama regime. Also, Russia announced Constantinople would become Christian again and return to Bulgaria. That's it. Russia's preparing for nuclear war. They've deployed everything they have right now. All we can do is pray. It's not like we can counter a nuclear weapon. They have about 2,500 cities targeted, along with several nukes now in Washington, D.C. In preparation for the nuke, if they hit D.C. and D.C. defend itself, it's too late. The nuclear weapons are underground. They're pulling back, and then they're going to hit hard. That's the way the Russians always do it. They're tired of Europe being killed and slaughtered by the Obama regime and Angela Merkel and the rest of these freaks in office. Sarkozy, who said, I like to have sex with 6-month-old children. He is sick of that. These people are sick. They're causing death and destruction all across Europe. And he's just tired of it. So are the Chinese, so are the Mongolians, so are the Indians, so is the rest of the world. They're tired of the United States, the unholy alliance of DC, London, Frankfurt, Paris, Rome, and Jerusalem, totally disrupting and destroying the planet. So the rest of the world is ready to take action. Whether it happens on the 25th of March, which is 11 days away, submarines will be in place, or whether it happens in June after the dollar starts to fall, I don't know. The United States is desperate. There were 2 nuclear weapons, we think, that went from Lebanon, which has an enormous amount of gold and silver, so the United States is probably going to steal it, to here, and then was going all the way over to Portland to destroy Portland and knock it out. See, that's a city in big black letters. Portland, San Francisco, LA, San Diego, Washington, New York, Philadelphia. You live in one of those cities, be afraid, be very afraid. Because more than likely they're not going to be here in 6 months. Don't know if it's going to happen. We pray that it doesn't. But that's the Russian philosophy. So the actual title should be Russia withdraws from Syria to start nuclear war.
Well, they're trying to make it sound like they're still having a contingency in the area in case there's a problem. They're not pulling out everybody.
No, they're getting the heck out of there.
They're soft pedaling that.
They said enough. We're done here. We're fighting the United States. Either China and the rest of the world helps us, or we're the heck out of here and let Syria be totally nuked. Don't know what else to say. They're withdrawing in preparation for general war. It's been their philosophy since Napoleon's time. When was that? 1814, when Napoleon was disposed because the Russians withdrew and then hit him with everything they had in the freezing weather because the French were too stupid how to get food in Russia. Here it comes, folks. Pray that your family is protected. That's what's happening. The fact that I got that note that said he thinks Obama was Lucifer incarnate, one of Satan's sons, I have no idea. But they do know that Washington, D.C. is evil beyond all reality, and they do know it's time. Coming to you. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, so the bottom line is everybody needs to prepare.
Everybody needs to watch the video. Be ready.
Be prepare your own household.
Watch the films we talk about. Be ready. We pray it doesn't happen, but
we just don't know.
We don't know. We're bringing the homosexuals and the child molesters and the murderers into our homes and our television sets. You think,
and
well,
that's programming us.
It's programmed us. That's correct. It's programmed us, and we bring these child molesters into our homes, and we think it's okay because it's a little box. No, it's not okay. And now there's a price to pay. And Russia knows that. China knows that. Every country on the planet knows that. We've been evil to the core. Selfish, evil, not
greedy,
not a lot of people, but enough to cause the judgment of America. We showed every major country, the United States, Europe, Russia, and China, how to avoid the economic collapse. They all ignored God, so do you think God is going to ignore them? Russia, you're the worst of the worst. We showed you specifically how to save your country from economic collapse, and it is right on Putin and Medvedev's shoulder, and there's nothing we can do. God tested them all with money, and they've all been found wanted. So now we just wait and see what God's going to do. And Russia's preparing for full-scale nuclear war. That's why they're getting out of Syria. And for a Turkish invasion of Georgia and the destruction of the pipeline, so Europe will freeze this next winter. Turkey wants the people in Europe to freeze to death.
Oh, yes, I know.
Erdogan is evil to the core. His son has been selling drugs, stealing oil, selling that on the open market. There's a dozen countries that want his son in jail now. They're going after Erdogan, little Mr. Hitler from Turkey. Remember, the Nazis started there. You know, the little Nazis? You know, the little, we thought this was, but apparently this is still alive and well in Turkey and the United States. We fought it once, we beat it, we're going to fight it again, and it's going to die forever. Right now it's in Germany, Turkey, and the United States. And all we can do is pray, because they have all the guns. They literally, in Puerto Rico, Panama, they were using satellites to turn people into little pieces of jello on the sidewalk, and they would circle their relatives with chalk. And every day now down there they have a celebration, not a celebration, a mourning of the people the United States killed. This country has reached an evil beyond all evils.
You got that from Jim Woolley.
That was from Jim Willie. He talked about the celebration in Panama, the Day of the Dead, where they all go out and stand on the parts of the sidewalk where their mothers and fathers and children and dogs and cats were vaporized by U.S. satellites. And why? There was no reason.
It was a test.
We just wanted to find out what these people could do. They can't shoot 100,000 feet up into the air. The government did nothing. Nothing. All over the world, they're celebrating a Day of the Dead that the United States caused. China, Mongolia, Russia, they're all celebrating the Day of the Dead that the United States caused. It's just, and the rest of the world is preparing to destroy the United States. It's done. They've had enough. The United States, I mean, for God's sakes, we had a guy from ISIS attack one of the presidential candidates, and he was out of jail an hour later. I mean, come on, get a clue. Where's the law enforcement? Where's the Secret Service? Where's the rule of law? Where's the U.S. Marshals? Where's the FBI? I tell you where they are. They're all foreign troops sitting on their thumbs spinning. This is so cool. I mean, these guys have got to be dumber than a rock. Don't they realize that the rest of the world is now going to kill them? I mean, there's going to be a warrant out for the arrest of anyone who worked for the U.S. government, except the military. There's going to be a warrant out for the U.S. Marshals, the Secret Service, the FBI. As soon as they start taking this country, the Russians and the Chinese and the rest of the world are going to have a warrant out for their arrest. And they're just going to kill them. They've got the Crowley list. Every one of them is chipped right here. All they have to do is locate them with a satellite and kill them. And it's going to start happening the second Russia and China invade. And it won't be just Russia and China. It will be Russia, China, India, and a whole bunch of other countries. And they're not going to look at U.S. citizens as nice guys. They're going to just kill us. So that's why Russia has pulled out of Syria. Thank you very much, folks. How do I know that? Because I'm in contact with the Russian leadership. Thank you very much, and good night.